This week on Country Music Junkies, we have Alabama native Andrew Pope on the phone. He's a singer-songwriter. Andrew, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Now, I want to talk about your new album that's available on iTunes, Here We Go. But I kind of want to start with where you started. I know that you kind of associate yourself with outlaw country. So how did this all kind of begin for you?
Well, I had piano lessons as a young child, and I think it's just always been in me.
Okay.
But oddly enough, I never even sang in front of anybody until about 4 years ago.
No way.
5 years ago, something like that.
And what inspired that to happen? Like, what changed your mind about all that?
I'll tell you, I was at a party one night, actually, and I met this guy there, and he had some acoustic gigs lined up. And we got in a room back there, back of that house where the party was, and we started just kind of playing guitar and singing some old, some Alabama and Van Morrison and Hank Jr. stuff. And he realized I might could sing a little bit, so we got talking, and he asked me pretty much if I wanted to play lead guitar with him and sing a few songs at those gigs. So that's how it started, and it went from that to doing a showcase one night, and a guy saw me there, and that works for Jeff Cook from the band Alabama, who I'm sure everybody knows.
Yeah.
And he asked me to come up to the studio and talk a little bit more, and I did. And he told me he was starting a label and everything, and was interested, and so 3 or 4 months from then, he signed me, and we did this album.
That is very cool.
It's going really good.
Absolutely. That's awesome. So for people who haven't heard your music or your sound, how would you describe it?
The outlaw stuff is really what I grew up with, but I also like, Conway Twitty, Eddie Rabbitt, John Anderson, stuff like that, too. I mean, I like a little bit of everything. And on this album, I wrote 9 of the 12 on this album.
Unbelievable.
And it's a little bit of everything, really. It's there's some rocked up kind of country stuff on there. There's some more traditional country. There's actually a little acoustic song about the beach on there. I've gotten to know so many people since we were recording that album, and I've got a chance to hang out with guys like that, and to know that you actually have established a connection and a relationship, a personal relationship outside of music, outside of business, with some of your heroes that you listen to on the radio when you're just growing up. I mean, that's a wonderful feeling.
Absolutely.
And I've gotten to write songs with some great songwriters that have tons of hits, and other artists as well. And I've just been really blessed, and everything's just really great. Actually, I got to meet David Allen Coe last night in Louisville, Kentucky.
Oh, no way.
David had a wreck. Yeah, David had a wreck a few months ago, and his band and his management quit him and everything. So he's friends with Danny Shirley and the Confederate Railroad guys. They used to back him in the 80s. They were the David Allen Coe band.
Right.
So they got a record. And so they did a benefit concert in Louisville, and Danny introduced me to him, and I sat there and talked 30 minutes with him on the bus. Just a great guy, I couldn't have been happier.
Right. Now, getting back to your album, Here We Go, has songwriting always been a big part of your life, or is that kind of new to you as well?
It really hasn't. I did not know I was a songwriter until I went through my divorce. I was married by the time I was 21. I was divorced by the time I was 23.
Wow.
I'm 28 now. And I wrote my first song going through my divorce. And, it's not the best, it's not the most well-written song as far as structure and everything, but, it opened some doors for me.
Right.
And it's just like the floodgates just poured open after that. And I've written hundreds of songs since then, either by myself or co-writing or just whatever.
Wow.
It's really, my story's a little different than most people, I think.
Absolutely. But that's great, though. I mean, that's what makes you different and stand out. So let's talk about your debut single, If Waylon Could See Us Now. What's the story behind that song?
That song, we released that actually, that was the first one. I think we did that, I think it was February of last year, actually. Yeah, 2012, yeah.
Right.
It's a song I wrote. I was just sitting around one day thinking, all this stuff that you hear, or not all of it, I won't say, but a lot of this stuff you hear on New Country Radio, I think it's got so far out of the realm of what country music is supposed to be, in my opinion. And I was just sitting here thinking, man, if Waylon could hear this, if Waylon could see this and see some of these people coming up and everything, because they just, not everybody, but yeah, that'd be my dog stuff.
That's okay.
They say hello too. But yeah, they, not everybody, but just some of them. I won't say, I won't name any names, but I was just thinking, I had that idea in my head, and it just kind of come together,
Right. Well, that's great. Now, Andrew, if fans want to check out your music, if they want to check out your debut album, Here We Go, that's on iTunes. But if people want to check you out specifically, do you have any places that you'd like us to direct them to?
Yeah, just the website would be probably the number one place. It's just www.officialandrewpope.com. I'm on Facebook and Twitter. I tweet like a madman, so.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. Well, Andrew, thank you so much for joining us today. I appreciate your time and definitely look forward to staying in touch.
Thank you.
Awesome. And fans, you can check out officialandrewpope.com for all of Andrew's music, and you can also find his album Here We Go on iTunes.